What's up, welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Do you guys remember this chick right here? She claimed that she let go of a guy because he was so good and she believed that she deserved better. I'm sure you guys have already seen the other video I just recently released of her saying that men don't approach her and other women who follow her because God is making her invisible to men.
In the past about maybe 6 months, right? I've noticed that when I go out, men don't approach me. You have to realize that God is probably making you invisible to like 99% of these men.
Now, in that video, I remember talking about how I didn't think that was the full explanation. Sure, hey, I believe in prayer just as much as the next believer in God. But the truth is, guys just aren't approaching women as much anymore. I don't see it happen much often. And I actually see the opposite. I see more and more videos of other women complaining that they are not being approached by men. Check it out.
What happened to men not being afraid to come and talk to you in person? Like, I feel like I run into men all the time who will like say something to their homeboy or like say something, a compliment loud enough for me to hear, not directly speaking to me, but just so I can hear it so I can say thank you. And that's like their way of knowing if they can come and talk to me or not. And I remember when I was younger, like I could be in a group of 20 girls and the guy would not care. He would come part the Red Sea and come and get my number. Like what happened to that? Where did that get lost? Did it get lost because of these dating apps? Like I've never been on a dating app and I will never be on one just because I just don't feel like my man is on there. I feel like my man is going to see me in person. He's not going to be afraid. He's going to come and talk to me. Right? So
You feel. You better be out here trying your best to lock down a man before it's too late. But of course, just like everything else, they don't listen.
like, am I doing something wrong? Or like, is that over with? Are they just expecting us to come and talk to them? Like, are y'all going to approach them? Because hell would freeze over before I ever.
Oh, hell would freeze over then. But that's not it.
What happened to men pursuing girls? When was the pivotal moment that a man chose to not go after a girl anymore or put in any effort? It seems like guys can just put the bare minimum and not even really put in effort anymore. They don't really care to. Or they're like, why don't girls just go and make the first move and make the effort? When did it become a thing? Now it's like role reversal where they expect girls to be making the first moves, yearning for a guy and chasing him. That is, I feel like, the downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone, because men don't put in effort anymore or don't care to put in effort. And a relationship won't work unless the guy likes the girl just a tiny little bit more. He has to like her just the tiniest bit more for it to work in the long haul. So it would make sense if a guy really wanted to get to know you, that he would go leaps and bounds to get to know you. And when did that shift? Because back in my mom's era, if a guy wanted to take you out on a date, he had to go up to you, he had to get your number.
Well, back in my mom's era, there was a abundance of wives, right? There was a lot that's different from back in your mom's era.
Had to go through lengths to try to talk to you, even if you weren't interested at first. How my parents met? They met at a bar, and my dad asked for my mom to dance. My mom was like, get out of here. She wanted nothing to do with him. If he had just left and listened to her, they would have never gotten married. They would have never had kids. But he was persistent. He wanted to take her on a date so badly.
And he would be arrested. Listening to this chick talk about how persistent her dad was. They're not trying to push it like that. Why? Because this generation of men is the product of men who were taught no means no. They tried to get it through the young man's heads. No means no. Now you want us to go back to no means yes. No means just not right now. That's what you want. It's too late.
He was like, what do I have to do to take you out on a date? She was working late their first date, so he went to her work, picked her up, prepped a dinner, took her to a park, just planned the whole thing. He wrote her poetry. He was yearning. How my aunt and my uncle met. My aunt was a dancer on a cruise ship, and he was the photographer. And he was persistent. She overheard him one night saying to his buddy, he was like, I'm gonna marry that girl. He had just met her. And now they're married, and they have 2 kids together. I don't hear anything like that now. Now we're praising eye contact. Now we're praising if a guy held a door open to us and smiled. That is what we're praising. It feels so backwards. I just wonder when it shifted, because I feel like that is the whole downfall of why it's so hard to meet someone now, because men just don't care anymore.
Men are the problem. Men are the problem. Men are the problem. They are the problem. Thank God for the coffee pod, right? Let's check out another video.
Are you approaching girls at a bar?
Me?
Who, me?
Who? Me? I'm too nervous. I just wait in the corner and sip my drink and be mysterious.
I honestly find that guys aren't approaching girls at the bar anymore.
Really? It's happening, guys. I mean, it's been happening. It's getting bad. It's getting bad.
Enough? Yeah, me neither. I usually would hear like my friends like be like, "Oh my god, like I'm gonna go up to that girl." I'm like, "Okay, cool." No one really does.
It's like one of your friends said it to me recently. So another guy I know said it to me, and I'm like, "You're all very attractive men," and they're like, "I am like terrified. I'm anxious."
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "You don't even have to be anxious because you're so attractive. They're coming up to you. Like that's why."
Yeah.
I think that's the end of that video. This one's actually interesting because I think this woman actually spoke some facts. Let's check it out.
Why men never approach women anymore?
I think we live in a society where men are torn down for small things, and they're scared to shoot their shot, and it's sad to see. They oftentimes bog themselves down before they even get a chance, you know? In this society, looks come first and heart comes second. It's only going to get worse unless a change is made. Until people start making things online for men to really like regain that confidence back.
What can girls do these days to make guys approach them more?
Smile more and really think about the things that you're saying to these guys to make them feel that way. Don't say things like, you're too short, because that really like does things to guys' ego. It's harmful.
You ever seen a girl reject a guy
I know a young lady who has a father who drinks coffee in her life.
and scarred him?
I sadly have at bars and stuff, you know, people like just say ew and turn around, and you can like look at the guy in the eyes and they look really sad after, and just like overall it's a bad time.
All right. Listen, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you guys think? Do you see this only getting worse? I'm curious. Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you as always for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.